Hi, YouTubers and wet shavers everywhere. It's Mark with GeorgeToon.com. I'm back with another Monday morning mailbag. Get yourself a cup of coffee, kick back, relax. Let's talk a little wet shaving and a few other things. What do you got this morning? I got something that I've used before in the past, and it's very good. Hang on. Yeah, that's a good cup of coffee. That really is. Get over to your local Whole Foods and check this out again. Pleasant Morning Buzz from their 365 brand of coffees. This is a terrific coffee. Vienna Roast, right there. Really enjoy it. It's a nice, bold cup of coffee to start the morning off right, and they named it right. Pleasant Morning Buzz. Yeah, so that's I'm enjoying it. I really am, and I've got my my Starbucks coffee mug again. My Starbucks Ohio coffee mug. I got this from viewer Beth Jones. She very, very kindly sent this along. It's definitely a favorite because it just all about Ohio. Here, Cuyahoga River. That's in my neck of the woods, right there. Cuyahoga River, right there in Cleveland. So yeah, it's a very, very nice coffee mug. Thanks again, Beth. And I hope you have coffee in a coffee mug this morning and are enjoying a cup of coffee with me. If you're taking me on your morning commute, hey, thanks very much for the ride. Really do appreciate it. A little housekeeping here. Viewer Chad Homier is celebrating a birthday. Well, he actually celebrated a birthday yesterday, Sunday. So we want to send birthday wishes to him, belated birthday wishes or birthday wishes. So happy birthday, Chad. And again, I hope you're enjoying a cup of coffee with me. We got a lot of great stuff this morning, a lot of great subjects. And I don't know if I'm going to get to all of it. Some of it might overflow into next week. The viewers really come through with some great information and just some great leads on shaving tips and shaving gear and some great questions. Just got a lot of great stuff. So get that cup of coffee. Let's kick back. Let's talk a little wet shaving. And we'll kick it off as we do every week with a morning shaving tip. Well, this morning's shaving tip comes courtesy of a viewer named Silas. At least that's the screen name, Cylais. I believe I pronounced that correctly, Silas. And Silas writes, a shaving tip that might be useful for some folks that I recently discovered while staying at a hotel. I forgot to pack my brush and soap, and I really needed a shave. I used a generous amount of unscented conditioner from the shower to perform the shave, and I must say, it worked out better than expected. The conditioner makes the hair softer, and the oil forms a barrier for your skin. Of course, nothing beats good old shaving soap, but if you forgot to pack it, this is a nice alternative. Wow, hey, thanks very much for that, Silas. I appreciate that tip. That is really something that I'm going to write down. I'm going to keep that one in the back of my mind in case I run into that situation myself. And I'm sure there are a lot of viewers out there who travel who really appreciate this tip. So there you go. If you forgot to pack your shaving soap or your brush, get some conditioner there. You know, the hotels always have those little soaps and conditioners and shampoos. Now with with my head the way it is, I don't use I don't use the shampoo at all. I mean, I can't remember the last time I used shampoo. A little bottle like that lasts me for like 10 years. So, but if I had to do a head shave, and if you're saying that conditioner works for a face shave, then I'm pretty sure I would assume it's going to work for a head shave. So I might try that down the road sometime as well. But thanks very much for the tip, Silas. I really do appreciate it. And to say thanks, for you and only you, an original George sketch. So all you have to do is email me your snail mail address at mondaymailbag@gmail.com, mondaymailbag@gmail.com, and I will send this to you post haste. And if you out there would like an original George sketch to frame and display in your own shaving den, please email me your shaving tip at mondaymailbag@gmail.com, mondaymailbag@gmail.com. And if I use it in the morning shaving tip, you too will get an original George sketch like Tim Whitcup. Tim got his sketch not so long ago, and he framed it up, and he is displaying it proudly in his shaving den and sent some photos of that. Thanks very much, Tim. It looks great among all your shaving gear. Really, I'm very flattered that you did that. And if you also have a George sketch that you framed up and would like to show fellow viewers, fellow wet shavers on this channel, hey, email me the photograph of that, the sketch hanging in your shaving den there, and I will broadcast it on this channel for all to see. So, and I'm very flattered that you guys do that. That's really, really nice. So thanks again, Silace, for the shaving tip. And thanks again, Tim, for sending along the photos and displaying George in your shaving den. Really, really am flattered and honored by that. Well, we're off to a great start. I hope you're enjoying a cup of coffee with me. This pleasant morning buzz, this really is a good coffee. It makes a great cup of coffee, and I'm going to go back for a refill. As a matter of fact, let's all go back for a refill. All right, we got some great subjects in this morning's refill, and I did go back for a refill. I got a pot of coffee right over there. Pleasant morning buzz. And yeah, I topped it off. Absolutely. It's my version of the bottomless cup of coffee here. All right, in this morning's refill, got a couple of comments and observations from viewers regarding the Silvertip brush that was sent to me very kindly by viewer Simon Hazanoff. And he made this. He got an Uma Silvertip knot, and he fitted it into a Yaqui handle. He removed the synthetic knot that was in this handle, and he got this Uma Silvertip Badger knot and put it in there, and it's absolutely beautiful. And of course, the maiden voyage was okay with the Heath shaving cream, but if you saw that video, but there is a bit of a learning curve, and I've been using it with other soaps, and I've used it with some tallow-based soaps. I've used it with some Phoenix shaving soaps, and yes, the tips or the observations I'm going to share with you here, I applied, and it really has enhanced the use and the utility of the brush. It really is doing a nice job. Rob Walsh wrote and said, the best advice I can give for using any kind of a badger brush is they work best when used with a hard soap puck or a Crope soft soap puck. Soak the brush in warm water, then squeeze out all the water so the brush is just damp. You have to really load the brush heavily in the soap. Swirl the brush for at least 30 seconds so the knot of hair fills, then paint it on your face. Dip the tips in the water to add more moisture as required. Keep dipping and painting until the soap on your face goes shiny. Then splay the brush to really build the lather. Finish off last by painting the lather to smooth it out. That's what worked for me in comparison to bore and synthetic brushes. Yeah, I have been doing that technique, Rob, and it has been working for me. I'm doing that. I'm kind of modifying that a little bit, but yes, I have found that once you get this, once you get that the brush loaded, and you start to build a lather, you start to paint it on, and actually painting it on actually does help in the lathering process. I'm still on the learning curve, but I really appreciate this insight that you've sent along here. Viewer JT added to the discussion saying, hi Mark, great shave. I own one Silvertip Badger, one super high density Badger, and one super Badger. The trick with these brushes is to overload the soap. Well, he just confirmed what Rob just said. When you think you have enough, you don't. You need to put approximately double the amount than you would with a synthetic or a bore. Also, I sometimes will squeeze out the excess water and just get a heavy, pasty load and then start face lathering my wet face. If I need more water, then I wet the tips. Sometimes I do go back to the puck if I need more soap. Finally, don't push the brush into your face because the soap will retreat into the bristles and it will be a job and a half to get the brush to release the soap. Be gentle with the brush on your face and you will get good results. Be well. JT, thank you very much. And I have been doing just that and what Rob suggested as well in not pushing this in as much with synthetic brushes. I think they're a little more forgiving and you can kind of push them in. They splay out. They kind of snap back into the shape. Yeah, but this is different. And I have experienced that soap retreating into the knot, and I have lightened up on swirling it on the face and doing a face lather and then painting it on. And I've done it both ways. Rob's way of painting it on, and then your way of actually doing a face lather. But the combination of the two, and I've played with the order, these seem to work. So if you have a Silvertip brush that you've just gotten, or maybe you hope to get one as a Christmas gift or a birthday gift or for Father's Day or graduation or something like that, these are really, really good tips. Come back to this video and look at this section again, because those tips and those suggestions, recommendations really, really helped improve my lathering with this brush. And I'm enjoying it more and more. And I'm surprised at how nicely and quickly this cleans up. It really is an amazing hair for a shaving brush. It really is terrific. So again, my thanks to Simon Hasenovs for sending it. And because it's a Yaki handle and an Uma, I believe that's how it's pronounced, an Uma shaving nut, I don't know what to call it. You can't, call it a Yak, you can't call it an Uma. So I'm just going to call it a Simon Silvertip. So that's what... So henceforth, when I pull this brush out, I'll say I'm going to be using the Simon or the Simon Silvertip, so you'll know what it is. But thanks very much to Rob and JT for those suggestions and recommendations. They really are helpful. And if you have a Silvertip, I hope those help as well, because they sure have helped me. Now, on another subject, regarding the soap on the mirror trick that we had last week from Martin Ford. That was really neat. He said, just take a little bit of soap and wipe it on the mirror and wipe it off, and it'll be fog free when you take your shower. When you get out of the shower, there won't be any fog on the mirror, so you can get right to your shave. Viewer Joe Rouse said, I've tried this with Barbasol. It's messy, but it works. Also, viewer Lance Cooper contributed the following. The soap on the mirror trick also works with canned shaving cream. Gotta have some use for it. That's very good. That's very funny. That's very true. A lot of us probably have been given a can of shaving cream or shaving gel, as a gift. Oh, hey, you shave. You probably get one of those cans, and you probably don't use a lot of it. I know I've got a couple of cans. But you know what? Maybe in a pinch, I'll use it with a cartridge razor or something like that. So I kind of keep it. But yeah, if you're not using it, try it on the mirror. Joe says Barbasol works, and Lance seems to confirm that. So thanks very much, gentlemen, for all the great topics on this week's refill. Really, really do appreciate it. Wait a minute, this refill is a bottomless cup, like I said. Forgot a couple here. Wanted to mention something regarding Tabac. Now, last week we were talking about Tabac, and someone mentioned that if they're taking the tallow out of the formula, maybe they should call it VBAC, as in, a vegan soap. VBAC instead of Tabac. The assumption being that TA is probably for tallow, and I was making a joke about that, and I thought it was rather funny they should call it VBAC rather than Tabac. Well, a couple of viewers wrote in to correct this, and thanks very much to them. I appreciate it. Paul Desjardins, I hope I pronounced that correctly, Paul. Paul Desjardins, Desjardins, Paul Desjardins, wrote and said, good morning again, Mark. Great show. Hey, thank you very much, Paul. Just a quick note regarding Tabac's name. Tobacco is le tabac in French and German. I believe that's probably why the box is that golden brown color. I would say that's probably why that is too. Yeah, so thanks for that observation and that information, Paul. Really do appreciate it. But David Cyphers confirms that, and he wrote, I believe that Tabac is in reference to the tobacco scent that's in it. Most fragrances that I know of with Tabac in the name feature a prominent scent note of tobacco. And if you look up the notes of Tabac, one of the first is tobacco too. So thanks very much for that, David and Paul. So Tabac, tobacco. Thanks for clearing that up. And my apologies to all the linguists out there. I was going with the VBOC thing. So I thought it was a funny comment. But yeah, Tabac, tobacco. So hopefully with the new formulation, even though they're taking the tallow out, hopefully with the new formulation, the scent will remain that great Tabac scent and have those notes of tobacco in it. So something to look forward to. This is the original. I bought some and I happened to get a couple of pucks in the original tallow formula, tallow base. So down the road, I hope to get one in the new formula and compare the two of them. So thanks very much, Paul and Dave, for clarifying the Tabac name and its association with tobacco. Okay, it's that part of the show where we get to check out some new shaving gear. Okay, we got some really, really neat stuff to show you this morning in the new shaving gear segment. We're going to kick it off with a message I got from Mark Bagwell along with some photos. He purchased a brush from Rich Man Shaving. This is an Etsy shop maintained by Rich Hansen. Rich also has a Rich Man Shaving group on Facebook. He makes these custom brushes and they're gorgeous. Now, Mark talked about the one that I'm showing you right now, and he's saying, take another look at the red and gold brush. Look closely at the nut. Notice anything different? Looks like a regular Silvertip, doesn't it? It's a mix, half Silvertip and half synthetic. It's called the Innovator. It was thought up by Rich. It's supposed to be incredibly soft and have backbone at the same time. It will bloom out. I can't wait to use it. I'll give you his Etsy page, but I caution you won't catch his brushes there. They sell within minutes of him making them. But I will give you his Etsy page myself, and yeah, they are in a wonderful, wonderful demand for them. I mean, it's wonderful to see this, and he makes an absolutely beautiful, beautiful brush. But his Etsy address is www.etsy.com/shop/richmanshaving. And you'll want to go up there and check out the brushes that he has. But again, from what Mark says, they sell very, very quickly. So I'm sure that if you go up there and visit his shop up there, you can start a conversation with him or join his Facebook group and get in touch with him there. It seems that he features a lot of the different handles and knots that he sells on the Facebook page as well. So you might want to check that out. The brush is absolutely gorgeous. And thanks very much to Mark Bagwell for sending that along. And yeah, absolutely beautiful work, Rich. Really, really, really bravo. Those look great. And that Innovator brush knot sounds fantastic. So thanks again to Mark Bagwell and also to Rich Hansen. Mike Handel sent along the following email. Hi, Mark. Good morning. I hope you're well and that you're having a great week. Absolutely. Thanks very much, Mike. I noticed yesterday that Pasteur's Pharmacy here in New York City just posted on Instagram that they are now carrying the Le Pere Lucien Lainess collaboration soap that you previously reviewed. I have included a snapshot from Instagram for you. Previously, this soap was only available by direct order from LPL in France. It is now carried stateside by Pasteur Pharmacy here in New York. That might be of interest, as this is much more convenient than having to order from France. I just thought you would like to know, and that you might also want to pass this along to your viewers on the Monday morning mailbag. Well, have a great weekend. Have a great weekend ahead, and all the best, Mark. Sincerely, as always, Mike. Mike, thanks very, very much. Yes, this is incredible soap. Mike very, very kindly sent this soap along. I reviewed it, and I have been using it, and it's wonderful. It does have a beautiful, beautiful scent. I believe there's donkey's milk in there. I can't remember again. I'll have to look. It's just absolutely wonderful. The lather it makes is glorious, and you're to keep it open. I had a cap just to show you the lid. But since I've been using it, they recommend that you keep this open at all times. And this soap gets harder and harder as you go, as time passes, that is, and it becomes really easier to lather. It's amazing when you dip the brush in. I did use this with the Silvertip Badger brush, and it was amazing, absolutely amazing. So Pasteur's Pharmacy is now carrying this shave soap. I know I butchered the name. I know I butchered. It's Le Pere Lucien, right there on the bottom. And this is a collaboration soap with Lainesse. That's where they get the milk from. And I believe it's donkey's milk. And Savon du Barbier is, barbershop soap. And it does have a nice barbershop-like scent. I forgot to include this one in my review of barbershop scents, only because, it's overseas in France. Now, I'll include it again when I update that video because you can get this out of Pasteur's. But, this is a really, really terrific soap. So there you go. Le Pere Lucien, available at Pasteur Pharmacy out of New York City. So thanks very much for sending that along, Mike. Really, really do appreciate it. Bob Leroux via Facebook contacted me and said Fine, as in the Fine Shaving Company. They're the folks that make the American blend, Fine Shaving Company. I happen to get their original formula, and I'll be reviewing that as well. But they've got a new soap base and everything. I hope to get some of that as well. Bob Leroux wrote that Fine had a wall slot, but not at the moment. You'd think Lowe's and Home Depot, but no. I still need a stud finder to see if this will work for me. Yeah, this is, I probably could have used this in the refill, but I decided to use it in new gear because you can get these wall plates, and I featured one from Maggard's that you can actually just cut a hole in your wall, cut a slot in your wall, and affix this to the wall in between your studs, and then you'll have, a blade disposal unit that will go in between the walls, just like that old medicine cabinet that I showed last week. So that's kind of the 21st century solution to blade disposal. It still uses the older way of doing it, of disposing of the razor blades in the wall, but it's just a plate that you can affix to the wall and just find it in between the studs, and then you're ready to go. So Fine, the Fine Company, has a wall plate, as I've showed you here. Bob sent a photo of it. And hopefully they'll have those back in stock, but there is one available at Maggard's, and I will link that again, and hopefully that's still available. But if you don't want to use a blade bank, you want to just do something like that, like they did in the old days, that'll work too. So thanks very much for that, Bob. Bob also sent along the following. Are you familiar with triablade.com? It seems like a good source for getting just the sample blades you're interested in. Thanks very much for passing that along, Bob, because that's one of the things that's always recommended to new wet shavers is to try a sampler, a blade sampler, and try different blades and try to figure out which one works best for your skin and your beard type. And sometimes when you're buying these blade samplers, you're kind of locked into what they offer. And some might work for you and some might not work for you. And perhaps you have read or heard on forums or from other wet shavers that a particular blade will work for you. A particular blade is pretty good, and you're thinking maybe it'll work for you, but it's not in that blade sampler. Well, if you go to triablade.com, you might be able to find that specific blade and buy them, in any kind of quantity that you want. And I think that's a really, really terrific resource. So thanks very much for passing that along, Bob. Really do appreciate it. And thanks again to everybody who passed along leads on some great shaving gear. Oh, wait a minute. We're not done yet. No, we're not. Just happen to remember. This is something a little different, and I will be reviewing this. It's right over here. I almost forgot about it. Here it is right here. This company reached out to me and contacted me and asked me to review this. So this is kind of the start of the review. I am going to do an on-camera head shave with this. Now, as you know, I talk about using a razor a safety razor, a cartridge for head shaves, and also at times using an electric razor for those instances when maybe a safety razor is not convenient, or maybe I've bumped my head, or whatever the reason, I'll go to an electric razor. And as you all know, that's part of my toolkit when it comes to head shaves. These folks, the folks at Dynabliss, sent me this 5-in-1 rotary head shaver. Yeah, isn't that nice? This is cordless, rechargeable. It's a nice size for travel as well. And I'm going to be reviewing this. It is wet and dry, so you can use it dry, you can use it wet. And let me show you what's inside of this here, because it comes with other adapters as well as the cutting head here for your for shaving your head. So let me just open this up here. Now I did open it up and I looked at it, and all I've done here is I repackaged it so you can kind of get a look at it to see what they have in here. So let me just pull this out. I don't want to drop anything on the floor. Okay, so here is the USB adapter cord in here, and some combs. We'll get to those in a minute, but it has a USB adapter cord. So you probably want to get a wall adapter like this to plug in the wall and to accommodate a USB plug. Okay, so that's what that is there. Now, here's what you have in the kit right here. Okay, let me take this lid off here. Hopefully everything will stay in. You have the actual shaver here with the rotary head, and you have some other adapters that plug into it. Let me show you that. Okay, so you've got here it is. Here's the head shaver with the 6 heads right here. Now again, this is wet and dry, and to clean this, all you do is open up these heads. Here, let me show you that real quick. You just open up these heads here, okay, like that. They all open up like that. I'm not going to do all of them, and then all you do is rinse that out. Really, really very, very neat. So it has an LED display here, and it will count down from 100. It'll count down, let you know how much runtime you have left. You get about 60 minutes of runtime. I think it's about 2 hours to charge. So all you do is hit this button here. Okay, there you go. See that? 96. This came fully charged. All right? Hear that? Nice compact size. And of course, running around your head here. I'm waiting another day to grow in this a little more to give it a really, really good test. I'm going to be reviewing it dry and wet. But here's the neat thing. Again, this unplugs like that. That comes off. And you have these other adapters that you can use that offer you some different functions. For instance, this one is for nose hairs. Okay, so if you want to get your nose and your ear hairs, you've got this adapter right there like that, which is very, very neat. You also have a hair trimmer right like this. Okay, that's where the combs come in. So this is, it goes in like that. And of course, this moves back and forth here. Then you can take these combs. Here, I'll show you real quickly here. You take these combs here. Let's open this up. I really did a nice job resealing this, huh? So you can clip these combs on the head like this, and then you have different lengths. You can kind of control the length for trimming your eyebrows or your sideburns or whatever else you want to do. I did use this on my eyebrows, and it worked very, very well. Of course, and that here, it comes off like that. You just push in the middle of there, push through this hole in the base plate, and it comes right off. And again, this unsnaps very, very easily. You also have a cleansing brush here, a rotary cleansing brush that'll plug in like that, and turn that on for cleaning the face. And it also comes with a shorter, more vigorous kind of brush that plugs right into that base there. So yeah, it gives you all these different adapters for grooming, which is kind of neat. And the price on this is like $40. And just going up to Amazon now to get a screenshot of this, they're offering another $4.95 coupon. So wow! And I will be reviewing this to see how this works. And again, LED display, floating heads, All the information is up there on their Amazon page. Let me just read some of it. Let me read some of it here to you. 6-in-1 professional head shavers for bald men and grooming kit. It talks about the hair trimmer, the nose hair trimmer, sidebird trimmer and cleaning brush, facial massage brush. It also talks about the electric shaver has a charging reminder and a travel lock. Now, the travel lock is kind of neat because all you do is you hold this for 3 seconds. Well, I'll show you. Watch. Hold it for 3 seconds, and then it counts down 3, 2, 1, and now it's locked. So if you bump this, it's not going to go on. To unlock it, you just hit it again. Hold it in there for 3 seconds. 3, 2, 1. I can't remember. I can't see which side is up there. But then now the travel lock is off. So that's kind of neat because we always talk about TSA restrictions and travel and safety razors and that sort of thing. So if you're traveling with an overnight bag and a DOP kit and you're not taking any check-down luggage, you're probably going to end up having to take a cartridge razor. And you know what? You could get one of these also and throw this in the DOP kit. This is perfectly acceptable. It's an electric razor, and it'll do a nice job of shaving your head. Now, I have not used it, but I did. I did just kind of go right here, just take it just a little bit and just a little bit. And the preview was pretty good. Preview was really pretty good. And of course, you got a guard here. And there is also some information about the floating heads. 6 veneer heads made of skin-friendly and durable blades imported from Germany. Accurate, safe, sharp, and automatically adapts to all angles of the face, neck, even chin and skin. The 6D fits completely into the 3-dimensional cutting head and accurately detects the length of the beard. The area is flexible to fit the contour of the face and to reduce irritation so that you have an efficient, comfortable, smooth, and close shaving experience every time. Now, again, this is another option for shaving the head in a pinch. Probably will be great for travel. I'm going to review it wet and dry. And again, as you know, I've always talked about having an electric razor in your toolkit in case you need one. I do favor a safety razor for my head shaves. Love doing it. Cartridge razors come in handy, the Omni shaver, but this is yet another tool for the toolkit. And again, great travel size, travel lock, looks like it'll do a good job, is really a different approach than a regular foil shaver. And it looks like this will probably, because of the coverage of it, it'll probably give you a good head shave in record time. So I just wanted to mention this to you. I'll be reviewing it soon, and that is probably, well, it's something that I'm really looking forward to. It's probably going to give me some really, really nice performance. And again, something else in my tool belt for doing a head shave. But they very kindly sent this to me, and they reached out to me, and I'm more than happy to do a review of it in exchange for the product. But I just want to let you know that they did send it to me, and I'm looking forward to using it. It looks and feels to be very well made, and we'll see what kind of shave it gives when I do a dry shave and a wet shave here. So I'm looking forward to using this tomorrow. I should have enough hair, coming back to give this a really, really good test run. So look for that video down the road here, hopefully within the next week or so, and we'll get that done. So thanks to all the viewers out there that sent along information regarding new wet shaving gear that's out there. Thanks to the folks at Dynabliss for sending along the 6D head shaver. Looking forward to reviewing that. Thanks again, gentlemen. Really, really do appreciate it. Okay, we're going to kick it off with a comment from a viewer named Brian. Brian wrote, "Just today, I got a Game Changer 0.68 in the mail as my first stainless steel razor, as well as a West Coast Shaving Silvertip Badger brush. I'm excited to give them a try tomorrow." You, sir, have got 2 great ingredients to start giving you a wonderful wet shave. I think you've made 2 great picks. The Game Changer is an absolutely wonderful, wonderful razor. It gives such a nice, smooth shave. It is so well machined, and paired up with a stainless steel handle, and then you have a stainless steel razor. It's fantastic. It'll give you a smooth, smooth shave. I think you're going to love it. You know, you just can't go wrong. This is a really, really nice, nice shave for a beginner wet shaver or a seasoned wet shaver. Either one of those groups will absolutely love this. And as far as a brush, yes, I've discovered how wonderful the Silvertip Badger brush really is. In the past, I haven't been able to comment on that. Had you written me or commented on one of my videos, I can't remember where I got this, but had you written that, say last year, I would have said, wow, that's great. Glad you got a Silvertip Badger brush, but I wouldn't have been able to give you any feedback. I can give you feedback now. These brushes are amazing. They really, really are. Really terrific. A different approach and technique than a synthetic brush, as we've discussed in today's episode. But yeah, they are really something special. And yeah, they're terrific. I know synthetic brushes out there are wonderful, but yeah, these Silvertip brushes are fantastic. And I know there are animal cruelty issues with this, and I hope that the industry is able to overcome those. But yeah, really is something that I think every wet shaver should experience. You might also want to get a good synthetic brush from Phoenix Shaving, kind of compare and contrast because they make some great synthetic brushes, or a Yaki synthetic brush, a synthetic brush from Simpson. They make some great synthetic brushes up there. The Trafalgar series, the T3 is an absolutely great synthetic brush. Yeah, but also get a synthetic brush. Try a synthetic brush as well. I think you'll enjoy that. But yeah, two great choices. Good for you. You're on your way in your wet shaving journey. Great choices, Brian. Enjoy. Viewer Tim Whitkip sent along links to some vintage PAL razor commercials that are up on YouTube. I'll link those below. There's a couple of them there showing the PAL razor from the early 1960s. And I happen to have a PAL, and I've reviewed it in the past. I'm going to have to review this again. I have one in an original case. And of course, they have an area there where the injector razor cartridge is seated. And I just put that in there for display purposes. Now, I have the hinge here is busted, unfortunately, but it opens up like this, okay? And here it is, the PAL adjustable razor. And you can adjust it right here. And just that blade gap right there. And of course, it's an injector razor. You inject the blade in there like that. And then you can adjust it mild to aggressive and find the correct level of aggression and shave for your skin and beard type. It was a great idea back in the day. And if you notice, the Parker single edge adjustable razor looks a lot like this. And I don't have one, so I haven't been able to review it, but I'm going to review this one again. Injector razors are really neat. Just their approach. If you're able to find one like this, I think I got this one on eBay, and I think I got it for a pretty good price. It is stainless steel, and that's a big plus right there. And it's an injector razor. You just, inject the blade and then go ahead and take your shave, and you'll get like maybe 5 to 7 shaves from one blade. But a neat idea from the early 1960s. And I think this kind of set them apart from a regular Schick. This was their marketing ploy, an adjustable injector razor. So really kind of neat. So enjoy those vintage commercials and keep your eye out for a PAL injector razor if you come across one. I was lucky enough to get one in really good shape on eBay. I don't think it was a lot of money. I think this was maybe like $25 to $35, something like that. But I've had some shaves with it. It is very good. I like the adjustability, absolutely, because some injector razors, depending on the decade that you buy them, some of these Schick injector razors, they can be a little more aggressive than some of the others. And I think the general rule of thumb is, and some of you out there, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the injector razors, the Schick injector razors from the early years, the 30s and 40s, are a little more aggressive than the injector razors going into the 50s and 60s. So you might want to, double check me on that. Let me know. But thanks to Tim for sending along those PAL commercials, because it reminded me of this razor, and I'm going to have to get this out and review it again. So thanks very much, Tim. Really do appreciate it. Okay, so this question comes from viewer Nader A. And he writes, "Good evening, Mark. How are you doing? Hope you're keeping well and enjoying the last days of summer." That's right. I forgot to mention we're in the last few days of summer. Summer is going to end on the 22nd. The first day of fall is the 22nd. So in a couple days, that's it. Summer's over. So, enjoy the last few days of summer. That's for sure. It's almost that time where a hot cup of coffee really hits the spot on those cool mornings. I agree. Absolutely. Again, I hope you're having a nice hot cup of coffee with me this morning. He continues, quick question. Have you ever found that a razor blade that has been used 3 to 5 times gives you a rough shave? I used the Lord Platinum today on its third use, and I found it to be quite rough. I do want to mention that I used a Merkur 37C slant, so the razor may have been the issue, not necessarily the razor blade. I typically stick to 2 shaves on my razor blades, but since I was using a more aggressive razor, I figured a used razor blade would prevent any nicks and or cuts. In your experience, do you find a newer and or sharper razor blade gives you a smoother shave? Keep up the amazing videos. Always a pleasure watching your videos. Take care. Be safe. Nader. Great question, Nader. Yes, I like putting in a new blade as often as possible. Couple of reasons. The first one is they're inexpensive. They're not really a lot of money. You can get a shave for pennies a day. So my general rule of thumb is 2 to 3 shaves, and then I toss the blade in favor of a new blade. I like to use a new blade as often as possible because I like the feeling of a new blade. The other reason why I use a new blade is because I'm doing a lot of video reviews on this channel. So I like to pop in a new blade to show the viewers I'm using a new blade. And I think that's to the advantage of the review, especially when I'm reviewing a new razor, so that maybe the viewer knows what they expect. Put in a new blade with a new razor, that sort of thing. So when I do a review, I'm popping in a new blade, I'll have a shave with it, and then I'll take that blade and I'll put it on the magnet on my mirror. And let's say the next day when I'm not doing a review, maybe I'm not doing a review, I'll take that blade and I'll pop it into another razor and I'll have another shave with it, and maybe even a third shave. But then if I'm doing a review the following day, after having 2 shaves with that blade, I'll probably end up tossing that blade in favor of a new blade for that new review. That's kind of my rule of thumb. But generally speaking, even before doing a lot of these reviews, my general rule of thumb has been 2 to 3 shaves in favor of a new blade. I like using a new blade as often as possible. And yes, a new blade on first use gives me a smooth shave. Second use gives me a smooth shave. Even the third shave gives me a smooth shave. And then I think 4, 5, and 6, that kind of thing, those number shaves there, I think I'm pushing it. For my skin type, my beard type. Now, there are some exceptions. There are some blades that are a little more hardy, like the Vikings Blade mild blades and the Cayenne Hot. I can get a good 6 shaves out of those blades. I like those a lot. So yeah, I can get some good shaves from that, and I think they maintain their smoothness. I haven't tried it with a feather blade, although I am experimenting with feather blade, thanks to viewer Mark Bagwell for sending me some feather blades. So I'm thinking maybe, because the feather is such a high quality blade, I could probably get maybe 4 or 5 shaves out of a feather blade. But again, my habit is new blade as often as possible. Now, there are some wet shavers out there who feel that the first shave is okay with a blade, but the second shave is the shave that is better. They feel that the second shave with that blade is smoother. Why? Well, they feel that first shave with that blade kind of breaks it in, kind of smooths out maybe some of the rough edges on that blade. To overcome this, a lot of wet shavers will try to mimic the first shave with that blade by not so much shaving with it, but corking it. They'll take that blade and they'll run it through a cork or maybe even a styrofoam cup to kind of knock down what might be some maybe some little burrs, or smooth out that edge a little bit, in the same way that a first shave would do that. So they'll cork that blade so that when they use it on the first time, it's like using that blade on the second shave. that sort of thing, if you follow what I mean. But for me, I haven't really seen much difference in that. I feel that first use of a razor blade for me, always the best. Second use is great. Third use is good. After that, time for a new blade. That's been my rule of thumb. Also, other wet shavers will strop that blade also. They'll strop it on the meaty part of their palm here, and they'll strop that a little bit before doing their first shave, again, to maybe smooth out those edges a little bit. I don't do that. I just pop it in. I like the blade on the first shave. I get really, really terrific shaves from a first blade use. But like I say, some wet shavers like me, pop the blade in. That first shave is great. Second shave is good. Other wet shavers feel that the second shave with the blade is better than the first. And in order to bring that about on their very first shave, they'll cork it. They'll cork it so that it's almost like they've shaved with it one time already. Just, knocking down some of those rough edges that they think are there. Again, your mileage may vary, is what I'm saying. But yes, I think a newer or sharper blade will always give me a smoother shave every single time. That's why I like to use a new blade as often as possible. Again, they're inexpensive. Pop them in. Love using a new razor blade as often as possible. That's just been my general rule of thumb, with some exceptions. So I hope that helps. If you're using a blade 5-6 times and it's not that smooth, hey, toss it. Put a new blade in. It's not that expensive. That's the beauty of the traditional wet shave. Blades are really, really inexpensive, and you can get any kind of razor blade out there. There are so many different kinds of razor blades out there. You can try a wide variety of razor blades, and you'll find one that fits your budget and your skin and beard type. It's absolutely great, and it's a great time to be doing the traditional wet shave. So, Nader, I hope that answers your question. I'm a guy that likes to use a new razor blade as often as possible. So, they're inexpensive. So maybe you want to try that. Just maybe 2 to 3 shaves, toss it, pop in a new blade. Okay, it works for me. It's one of the reasons why I love doing the traditional wet shave. The variety of blades and using a new blade as often as possible. Okay, thanks again for the question, Nader. I hope my answer was helpful. Okay, viewer Joe Rouse sent along a suggestion. Now, Phoenix Shaving launched Droid Black. This is their homage to Floyd Black, and boy, is this scent wonderful. And I've got this in CK6. It's fantastic. It lathers a treat, and the scent is absolutely beautiful. Really, I highly, highly recommend this. This is absolutely wonderful scent. Classic Spanish barbershop scent. It's wonderful, and CK6 makes a fantastic, fantastic lather. Now, part of the storyline, part of the gear that goes with the Droid Black is this coin. This coin that you can get. It's a yes/no coin, and I happen to say, let me pull this out of the plastic case. I happen to say that, you could have your soaps lined up and then flip the coin and then find out, ask the coin, hey, am I going to use Clubman this morning? And you flip it and it'll say no. Okay, well, am I going to use Droid Black? And you'll flip it and it'll say, yes. Okay, great. That's what I'm going to use then. Have a little bit of fun with the coin, flipping it yes, no. Kind of neat, really, really neat, and a nice addition to anyone's shaving den to help you figure out what soap you're going to use for your morning shave. Well, Joe also said you could also use the yes/no coin to scoop out whatever soap it tells you to select. Laugh out loud. That's actually a very, very good idea, because we've talked about how some wet shavers will not add water to their puck. They'll scoop it out and put it in their shaving bowl or their scuttle and then build a lather from there so that the actual puck doesn't get any moisture in it. And a lot of wet shavers have said that they will use a coin to scoop that out. And this is a wonderful size to go in there and scoop that out. Absolutely great idea. So not only could you ask what kind of soap you want to use in the morning. You can actually use it to scoop out some of that soap and put it into your scuttle or your shaving bowl in the morning. Great idea, Joe. Thanks very much for passing that along. Really, really do appreciate it. Okay, viewer Bob Flora wrote regarding his Fatboy, a 1962 Fatboy H1. Very similar to what I have here. This is my Fatboy that Jim from Northfield very, very generously gifted me with. Bob writes, I have a 1962 Fatboy H1 I apparently bought new that has largely been rattling around since in a drawer, used occasionally, but never regularly. Wow, you've had it all this time. I have used a series of Norelco triple headers for all the years since. After watching a number of YouTube shaving videos, I bought a set with a badger brush, a cup, and a cake of soap. I'm assuming he means a lathering bowl. Ordered a holder and blades, not yet arrived. Saw the 3-shave method in several videos and tried it with a few blades I have. 2 shaves worked quite well. Interesting change and got the smoothest shave I ever had. Well, with the Fatboy, an adjustable razor, I would think so. Now, here's the really good news. He updated his wet shaving journey, and he said, I inspected the Fatboy carefully after getting fairly rough shaves over the years. One side had noticeably more blade reveal than the other. How to fix? Watched a repair video and learned that the lift plate has to move freely. I opened the razor, set it at 9, and carefully scrubbed the whole razor with Dawn, being careful to scrub under the lift plate. After washing it, the razor now has the same blade reveal on both sides at any setting. A note for others. A shave with a GVS blade, badger brush and cup, and Fatboy at 2. Shaved 3 times and got a BBS. First time in my life. Should have used a more open setting for the first shave as it hardly moved any of the 3-day beard next time. Wow, that's great to hear, Bob. I'm so happy that you were able to correct your the problem with your Fatboy, and that is something to note. And thanks for passing that on regarding how you cleaned that with Dawn and made sure that lift plate was operating correctly. Wonderful to hear. So if you have a Fatboy, you found one in an antique shop, or it was handed down from your grandfather, and you're having that problem with the lift plate, then try this cleaning routine that Bob employed here, and hopefully it'll help. But boy, these are great razors. These vintage Fatboys and Gillette Slims, these adjustable razors were really very, very well built. And 60 years on, they're still giving great shaves. So if you're lucky enough to come across one, snap it up. Especially if you're a yard sale or an antique store or something like that. And, they have it there for, who knows, $10, $15. Snap it up. It's a great find. If you can't find a Fatboy, boy, the Gillette Slims are wonderful as well. Hey, thanks for the update, Bob. Great to hear that your Fatboy is working so well and that you've started your wet shaving journey. Really bravo to you. Thanks very much for the update. Okay, so this next question comes from viewer Silace, and Silace had the morning shaving tip and is receiving the George sketch, but he also had a question this morning regarding Tabac shaving stick, and maybe some of you out there can help him solve this problem. He writes, really like these Monday morning update videos. Always watch them when I'm going home by train. Thanks very much. That's very nice of you. I have a weird thing going on with my Tabac shaving stick. When I first bought it, it was quite hard, and the part under the plastic cylinder still is. But the part under the screw cap is completely soft, and it doesn't get hard anymore. Nope, no pun intended. Even when letting it sit open for a week straight, it stays very soft. It is quite new, so it isn't spoiled, but I would like to know if someone knows if this is normal or what I might be doing wrong. Now, viewer 10 Fluid Ounce 30 Minutes responded to this comment and said, Silace, I'm just guessing here, but how is the humidity where you have your Tabac shaving stick? Could it be maybe the humidity is high and keeps the stick soft? Well, you know what? That's a good question. 10 fluid ounce, 30 minutes. And I'm wondering also if it is a humidity issue. I've had my Tabac stick for some time now, over a year, I know that. The top of this is not soft, and the product in the cylinder tube is still very, very solid. Overall, it's very, very solid. And I've used this, and it works well. And after I use it, and, rub it on my face, I'll let it sit on the counter to dry out before recapping it. Let it dry out a good long time before I recap it. But I'm not having that problem. So maybe it is a humidity issue. I don't know. I'm going to put it out there to the viewers. Have you experienced this? Have you run into the same problem that Silas has run into regarding the Tabac shaving stick? If you have, can you offer a solution? So let's see if someone comes up with something. So thanks very much for the question, Silas. I apologize that I don't have a solution off the top of my head because I've not experienced that with my Tabac shaving stick. But maybe someone out there can help you. So look forward to those comments forthcoming. So comment below and help out a fellow wet shaver. Okay, that's it. Thanks very much for tuning in again. I really do appreciate it. Please share, please subscribe, please like. Hit that bell so it'll give you a yell the next time I upload a video. Comment below, let me know. Check out the Executive Shaving Company. Use the code MARK5. Check out my blog, georgetoon.com/blog, for my comic strip George, other cartoons, other videos like this. I'm on Facebook. Check out my Facebook page. Check out Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements for some great, great shaving gear. Check out VikingsBlade.com for some great shaving gear. Check out Global Shave Clubs International for some great shaving gear. Check out my Amazon product page at amazon.com/shop/MarkZerati, where you'll find all the products I review on this channel, organized and categorized so you can find everything in a snap very easily. I'll leave you with this laugh. Thanks very much for tuning in again. I really do appreciate it. Make it a great week.